Jurrien Timber to Manchester United talks are on. Paul Mitchell to Manchester United is also on. Welcome to the Manchester United Matters channel. I go by the names of Rock and David. How are you guys and where are you watching us from today? We are really going to start to put up this video at exactly I think at exactly midday in there. That's when this video is always going to be premiering onto this channel every day morning. This video will also be premiered and we'll be letting you the latest news that are happening into the Manchester United camp in there for you. Today we are really so much happy because it looks like the club is really going to go to a full evolution from the board to the sporting side and to the players. First and foremost, the first move that the board made was to bring in Ralf Rangnick. And when Ralf Rangnick came on as a consultant, and he is at the same time the interim manager at Manchester United, he has started to do the recommendations that every club should have. And I really believe that Joe Motaf has been one of the students of Ralf Rangnick, and it said that in 2018 he went at RB Leipzig in Germany to really learn how rebuilding a club is. And after him failing to rebuild Manchester United, he brought him in to tell the bosses that this is what we're supposed to do to get United on the road. And by the way, Ralf Rangnick is the right man for the job, especially for the consultant and rebuilding Manchester United, because every time he has come out and called a spade a spade. He has come out and said United needs close to 10 players in, meaning that most of the players at United should be swept or thrown the exit door in there because they lack physicality and the mentality to compete with the players of Liverpool, Chelsea, and a team which goes by the names of Man City in there. So that is Ralf Rangnick there for you. First and foremost, he first recommended that United needs a psychologist. Before he even brought in Amaz, the assistant coach at Manchester United right now as an interim, what he did first was to go in and bring in a psychologist. And the psychologist, when he talked to these players individually, he came out and told Ralf Rangnick that these players are a joke. They're not going to get you, they're not going to do the job they want because their mindset is weak. Their mentality is weak. And this has also been evidenced by Gallas. You know Gallas, he played for Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. You remember him very well. He has come out and said the problem as to why Paul Pogba has not been run to by big clubs, yet he's on a free, is because of his mentality. He has got a weak mentality and he wants to dominate the dressing room, and he can really make players turn over the manager in there. That's why big teams are not all after Paul Pogba, because we've seen players like Rudiger closing in a deal to a side which goes by names of Real Madrid. Christian too has joined Barcelona. Frank Kessie has joined Barcelona on a free, and very many other players in there. But a player who goes by the name Paul Pogba, because of his weak mentality, he has failed to really get a club that is going to take him. Because when you look at Pogba on the world day, on the best day of him, he's the world best. He is the world best midfielder in the world, according to him. On his best day, you can't beat him. You get? But he just gives you glimpses of his immense talent, and that really confirms what Rangnick said. What the psychologist that Rangnick brought in told him, that this player's mentality is weak in there. So that's why he came out and made a recommendation that these players should be really sold and bring in new ones. Close to 10 players are expected to be brought in at Manchester United in there. That is Ralf Rangnick in there for you. Then he recommended Erik ten Hag over Pochettino. He told the board that when I see everything on these two managers, I really believe that the rebuild, the best pattern we need is Erik ten Hag, and the board went by his decision and they really brought in Erik ten Hag. Then he has gone ahead to tell them that there is a man I worked with at RB Leipzig. He's good at recruiting players. He's known as Paul Mitchel. You might be having a football director, you might be having a technical director, you might be having a head of sports in there, consultant, but if at all you don't have head of recruitment, you are not really going to get in the right talent that fits into the culture and structure you're building at the club. And he told them that when you look at Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool, they have all these in place. And if at all you want to be like them, you have to go ahead and do this. And guess what? Today, news has broke out from David Austin, you know him, he really works for the Athletic, that Ralph Rangnick has endorsed Paul Mitchell to the board of Manchester United, and they are in talks in there. Remember, way back like 2-3 months back, Paul Mitchell was seen with Ralph Rangnick at the game of the youth team of Manchester United when it was playing in the FA Cup. They are seated together because they are friends. They work together at RB Leipzig, and he's at Monaco. He's nearing his exit, and they've told the board of Manchester United, if you want the head of recruitment at Manchester United, it should be none other than Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell is an English ex-player in there. If at all you don't know him, when you look at his bio, Paul Alexandre Mitchell is an English former professional player who played as a defender for all midfielder. He's currently the sporting director of AS Monaco. As a player, Mitchell began playing with youth teams of Man City and Wigan Athletic, making his senior debut with the latter there for you. He's 40 years of age, and he has recruited very many players that people are really talking about. And Paul Mitchell's position on role at Manchester United has been really claimed by Prof. Rangnick and said, I really want him at Manchester United. And it shows you that the rebuild that we've all been crying for has now taken over. It looks like Richard Arnold, the new CEO, is not going to be like Ed Woodward. I think he was there watching out the mistakes that Ed Woodward was doing, impersonating or thinking that he's good at making football decisions, yet he is a banker. All he knows is making money for the club, and he has done it successfully for the last 16 years in there, or for the last decade in there. And I really believe that he has done it very well, and we appreciate financially. But me, as a Manchester United fan down in Africa, all I need from Manchester United are trophies, because the more money United makes, I don't benefit. I only want success onto the pitch. That's what I want. And Paul Mitchell is recommended and is the right man for the job. And we know that this is going to happen in there for you. So after Paul Mitchell's news leaking, then we go to one of the exciting young or teenage central defenders who can play as a right back too. Because this time round, after United was so much linked to Erik ten Hag, I've been watching the games of Ajax a lot, and guess what? There is a couple of young teenagers that are playing for a side which goes by names of Ajax that are really exciting. One of them is Jurrien Timber, and he's 19 years of age. He plays as a central defender. He's good on the ball. He can carry it. If at all you've ever watched a defender, do you know Paul Maldini? You remember how Paul Maldini used to get hold of that ball, and he does not really go on the side of the pitch or the wings, and he cuts inside. That's what Joel Timber is all about. By the way, he has scored 3 goals this season, and secondly, I've seen him on several occasions getting Ajax free kicks on the edge of the 18 yards area of the opponent. Can you imagine? He makes those runs that are really fantastic, and he plays high on the pitch. And this young lad is valued close to 40 million euros, something I really believe that it's going to be a deal in there. It must be a marquee heading for Manchester United, because Ralph Rangnick believes he has to be having a player that knows his philosophy and culture in every department at Manchester United. In the central defense, he really feels like he must bring in Jurrien Timber. In the midfield, he already has Danny Van Beek at Manchester United, and he knows everything about him in there for you. And when you look at the wing, it's said that he is so much interested on signing a man who goes by names of Anthony to come in and play that role at Manchester United. That is a man who goes by names of Erik ten Hag in there for you. And for the centre forward, I think for that he'll really resolve with Ronaldo, and maybe he'll go in for another. But he really believes that in defense, central midfield, and the white players, he really feels to be having one of those players that know him. This is really going to simplify his job, because we'll know that if at all a player like Rashford does not come up and do the in front of Martial or Sancho, you just get to know that he can really get in an Anthony to come in and do that job very, very well. Now today, we got this news from MUFC MVP. You know, this one is really forward in there, and the news was given to them, and they said it's an exclusive that Manchester United are now progressing in talks with Jurrien Timber's agent. Ajax have also been made aware of United interest in him in there for you. And I will believe that Erik ten Hag is going to be given every player he wants in Ajax, because for Ajax, it's a kind of team that really sells players. They just groom talent because they cannot hold this talent with them. The likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Luis Suarez, Danny Van Beek, De Jong, Ziyech. After like 3 years, they really get in this exciting side. The exciting side they had in 2019 had De Ligt, De Jong, Danny Van Beek, and Ziyech. You get? Those were the exciting players they had, and they sold them off, and they really made a lot of money because when you look at De Ligt's price from a side which goes by the names of Ajax to a side which goes by the names of Juventus, to a side which goes by the names of Juventus was 80 million pounds, and they really made a lot of money. Danny Van Beek was 40 million pounds, and a player who goes by the names of De Jong left at 85 million pounds from Ajax to join a side which goes by the name of Barcelona, and Ziyech I think was at 50 million pounds in there. So when you add, they made close to 300 million pounds from those 4 players, and this time round I really believe that they are really going to make in lots of money because Anthony is valued at 50, Timber at 40, that is 90. When you look at the other player, Gravenberg is valued at 50, that is close to 150 million pounds in there. So it looks like this summer they might sell out their players and get in some other 200 million pounds in there. So that's what Ajax does on a daily in there for you. So Timber is expected to come in at Manchester United because the player is also interested to come in and play for a side which goes by names of Manchester United. And I've seen my man in here who goes by the name Terry Flowers, who is a pundit, who runs a YouTube channel known as Terrace Football, coming out and saying that Manchester United have opened talks with Jurrien, Timber's agent. Timber is open to joining Erik ten Hag at Manchester United this summer. Jurrien Timber addresses Manchester United speculation in there for you. That is a man who goes by names of Jurrien Timber to Manchester United in there for you. So guys, feel free to go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Paul Mitchell coming in at Manchester United and Jurrien Timber's agent in talks with Manchester United to see whether he can join Manchester United in there for you. Feel free to go into the comment section. Your reactions are welcome in there, and your conversation should start flowing into the comment section below. I go by the names of Rock and David onto the Manchester United Matters channel, and this is a story that is going to start your day today. Good morning, and remember, we are going to be doing this on the daily, dropping in those stories, and we are dropping them like hot in there for you. So I'm out for now. See you later. May the Almighty God protect you abundantly, and I cover you all in the blood of Jesus Christ, the subscribers and viewers of this channel in there. This is Manchester United Matters channel. I sign out for now. See you later.